What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, back at y'all with another one. So, father, trainer, and manager of undefeated two-time WBC super middleweight world champion, Mexican Ecuadorian superstar boxer, David the Mexican Monster Benavidez, who is 26 wins, no loss, and no draw, 23 big wins by way of knockout, 26 years of age, 6'2" with a 75-inch arm reach. Jose Benavidez Sr., the father, trainer, and manager of David Benavidez, says, four-division world champion, Mexican superstar boxer who is widely considered by many to be the face of the sport of boxing, the undisputed super middleweight world champion, pound for pound, top 5 best fighters in the world, definitely top 10 best fighters in the world, in Saul Canelo Alvarez. He stated that this is a fight that they have been clamoring for, lobbying for quite some time. But he states that Canelo Alvarez, in his eyes, is a done fighter, right? He's done. He's mentally checked out the fight. Canelo Alvarez has a record of 58 wins, 2 losses, 2 draws, 39 big wins by way of knockout. He is 32 years of age, 5'8" with a 70-inch arm reach, right? Canelo Alvarez today mentioned his, announced his next fight. He's going to face off against John Ryder, May 6th, okay, Cinco de Mayo weekend. John Ryder, 32 wins, 5 losses, no draw, 18 wins by way of knockout, 34 years of age, 5'9" with a 72-inch arm reach, and he's a southpaw star boxer out of the UK, out of British Columbia, right? So with that said, David Benavidez, he has a big fight coming up, right? March 25th. March 25th, next Saturday. David Benavidez is going to have the fight that most fans was clamoring for quite some time. And David Benavidez himself was clamoring for this fight. And that's against former IBF super middleweight world champion, superstar boxer, Caleb Sweethand Plant, who is 22 wins, 1 loss, no draw, 13 wins by way of knockout. He is 30 years of age, 6 feet tall, 6'1", with a 74-inch arm reach, okay? And so with that said, that's the fight that fans was clamoring for and wanted to see for quite some time when they both was champions, okay? When Caleb Plant was a champion, he is the IBF champion, and David Benavidez was WBC champion. Everybody wanted to see that unification bout, but it never came to fruition, okay? David Benavidez lost his title due to recreational drug use outside of the sport of boxing. He was stripped of his belt. He then regained the belt by the fighter that fought for the vacant belt, which was Anthony Durrell. He stopped Anthony Durrell. Then he lost the belt during the global pandemic, where he missed weight on the scale and was stripped of his title again. So he never lost the belt in the ring, but he's lost it twice outside the ring, okay? And so Canelo Alvarez, he then lobbied and fought for the WBC vacant belt, and he fought against, Caleb Smith, okay, who was the WBA champion. So it was a unification bout, but only one belt was actually held by one of the fighters, and that was Caleb Smith. He beat Caleb Smith for the WBC, WBA title. He then defended it against Avni Yildirim. He came back. He fought Billy Joe Saunders for Billy Joe Saunders' belt, which was the WBO title. And then he fought and beat Caleb Plant for the IBF title and became undisputed, to which many people felt like, Canelo Alvarez was ducking. And, he took the opportunity to face off against Caleb Smith for the vacant belt, opposed to fighting David Benavidez for the actual belt. So this is a fight that many fans have been clamoring for, and Canelo Alvarez and David Benavidez, this is a fight that has been in the works and been talked about for quite some time, okay? So with that said, Jose Benavidez Sr., he states that, Canelo Alvarez is drinking and partying and enjoying the good life, right? He's no longer locked in to the sport of boxing like he once was. He's not that guy anymore. And that was largely in due part to undefeated WBA light heavyweight world champion, Russian superstar boxer DMITRY BIVOL, who dominated Canelo Alvarez 2 fights ago. Okay. And Canelo Alvarez, according to Jose Benavidez Sr., he feels like, he has not, recovered from that, right? He feels like he has not recovered from that loss to Dimitri Bivol. It was a bad loss, okay? Because Dimitri Bivol, dominated him mentally, right? Because he was just surely the better boxer. Now, many people will make up excuses and they'll tell you that Dimitri Bivol was just simply too big for Canelo Alvarez, and that's why Canelo Alvarez lost. But in all reality, that is not the case, because Canelo Alvarez, he faced off against guys that were bigger than Dimitri Bivol. He faced off against Sergey Kovalev, who has more power than Dimitri Bivol. Caleb Smith is 6'3" with a 77-inch arm reach. Dimitri Bivol is 6 foot tall with a 72-inch arm reach. Okay, weight-wise, yes, Dimitri Bivol weighs in 175, but Caleb Smith is much bigger and now campaigns at 175 himself. Okay, so Caleb Smith is actually bigger than Dimitri Bivol, and Canelo Alvarez stopped Caleb Smith. He also beat and stopped Sergey Crusher Kovalev, right? So he's fought guys that were bigger, okay? But when he lost to Dimitri Bivol, it was a mental loss, because Dimitri Bivol was simply the better boxer. He was using angles. He was using combinations, as you see here. His accuracy, his timing was better than Canelo Alvarez. His movement, his hand speed was better than Canelo Alvarez. His ring IQ, he was slicker than Canelo Alvarez. And that took a toll on Canelo Alvarez mentally. When Canelo Alvarez lost to Dimitri Bivol, it was quite different than when Canelo Alvarez officially lost to legendary retired, now Hall of Fame, iconic 5-division world champion, pound-for-pound king, pay-per-view king, superstar boxer Floyd Mayweather Jr. When Canelo Alvarez lost to Floyd Mayweather Jr., it was expected, right? Floyd Mayweather is arguably the greatest boxer in the history of the sport of boxing. So when you lose to Floyd Mayweather, it's a learning lesson. It's not the same thing as losing to a guy like Dimitri Bivol, whom he feels he's better than, okay? And so that loss, I believe it did take a toll. And we have now visibly seen, Canelo Alvarez partying and drinking, right? And those are things you didn't see in the past. Now, you can attest to his age. He is maturing. He's getting older, and he's coming. He's 33 years of age, right? So he's not really coming to the tail end, but he's had a ton of fights, okay? He's over 60 fights in, 58 wins, 2 losses, 2 draws. He's 62 fights in his career, okay? So he has had a ton of fights in his career. Now, he started off extremely young, but he's had a lot of fights in his career. And so that definitely could, take a toll on him. And he said, Jose Benavidez said he's a worn fighter, meaning that he's worn out, right? And that very well could be the case. It could be stale. And people are pointing, like Jose Benavidez are pointing to the fact that he's fighting John Ryder at this stage of his career now. Another thing that Jose Benavidez stated is the injuries. He did have a knee injury. Now he suffered a hand injury. So he did suffer some injuries, and a shoulder injury, if I'm not mistaken, as well. So, the sport of boxing seems to possibly be taking a toll on Canelo Alvarez. And Jose Benavidez, he feels like that because of those things, Canelo Alvarez is going to stay far clear of his son, David Benavidez, right? Now, David Benavidez, he has to live up to the billing. He has to win this fight next Saturday against Caleb Plant, right? That's a huge, he has to win this fight against Caleb Plant next Saturday, right? That's not a given. Caleb Plant is slick. Caleb Plant is accurate. He has a high ring IQ, very fast hands, fast feet, puts combinations together, has respectable power. Knockout of the year he won against Anthony Durrell. He's no walk in the park. There's no guarantee that he's going to beat, Caleb Plant. So the focus has to be Caleb Plant and getting past Caleb Plant. And then once he gets past Caleb Plant, then possibly in 2024, we could see Canelo Alvarez, face off against Dave Benavidez. And the reason I say that is because Canelo Alvarez is going to once again attempt to leap the hurdle that is Dimitri Bivol, right? There's talks that in September we could possibly see a rematch between Dimitri Bivol and Canelo Alvarez. And if that's the case, you know, I think Canelo Alvarez is going to lose to DMITRY BIVOL once again. I just think it's a bad style matchup for Canelo Alvarez. And I think DMITRY BIVOL beating Gilberto Ramirez, Zordo Ramirez, immediately following beating Canelo Alvarez has just given DMITRY BIVOL even more confidence in his ability to beat Canelo Alvarez. I'm hearing it could come down to 168, but if it's at 175 where Canelo said he wants to have it, I just think that's a terrible matchup and he's going to lose again. But drop a comment in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think. Y'all already know what it is. It's
Bump Garden, you're watching Blue Blood Sports TV. Wow.